All right, welcome back to my channel, Gamer and Legends. My name is Soul Betty. I'll be your host today. You can call me Soul, you can call me Betty, you can call me anything you like as long as you hit that like and subscribe down below and you keep the names tasteful. Today, I am going to bring you my update on Apex Legends in Season 15. First, before we get into that though, I just want to state that I love this game. Apex has been by far my most favorite game to date. I've put a lot of hours into this game. As a matter of fact, I started out on console, started solo queuing in this game. I was able to make it up to platinum. Then I progressed to diamond. I'd even made it to masters one season, but I really prided myself in solo queuing and ensuring that I was hitting diamond every single season. I also spent a lot of time watching the pro players, ALGS, all the tournaments that were coming, people like Nick Merckx that came over, really bolstered the game for viewers, and I'm just ingrained in the culture of Apex, so that's kind of some of my background. I am a casual player by default. I work a full-time job. I play games and I make videos, so there's not a lot of time for me, but that kind of gives you kind of the background on the casual gaming factor. So when I bring this to you, it's from a casual gaming perspective, okay? Now, in my last video, I had talked about Season 15 and how important it was that the developers get it right this season to retain the player base that we see in Apex. And unfortunately, I'm not sure that they were able to do that. So over the last couple of weeks, I started analyzing some of my own gameplay, some of my thoughts and feelings around the game, and really started asking my friends, and you can see that on my YouTube streams, is, we get into some pretty deep discussions around Apex and the state and what they feel, as they're pretty casual gamers as well. And what I noticed was, our passion for the game was starting to wane a little bit and we weren't playing it as much anymore. And here was a couple reasons that I think why that is. One, we've put a lot of hours into this game and it's just a natural effect to not want to play a game over and over and over again and continue to load it up, right? So I felt this in Destiny 1, then Destiny 2 came out, I left for a little bit, came back to Destiny 2, played a lot of hours, and then just over time decided, hey, it's probably time to move on to some different games. Now, there was some toxicity that I found in that community and found within the games, and also matchmaking was a huge factor for me in leaving Destiny 2. And I've never looked back. I've never went back. I've never played it. I probably will never load that game up again. And I found Apex, so I came to Apex. Well, if you fast forward to Season 15, I'm finding a lot of the same feelings that I felt in Destiny 2 that may make me leave this game forever. Okay, so let me start with a few of them. One, the matchmaking, it just seems like it's hard, it's terrible. My friend Rush that you see me play with quite a bit, him and I brought one of our friends into the game for the very first time. She was experiencing Apex for the very first time, started out as a Pathfinder, and was ranked level number 1, right? We go into the game, our first fight, pretty fair fight. We wiped a team, had a lot of fun. Second fight, we get dropped on by a full master squad, and this kind of topped it off. One predator from last season, an active predator, right? Ends up wiping the team. Okay, not a big deal. Couple of masters and a pred player. Typically you would find this in a high level ranked lobby. Keep in mind, this is pubs, right? So I'm like, okay, it's unfortunate. It happens, but not a big deal, right? Not a great first experience for the person that we're playing with, as she was just trying to get her bearings. Me and Rush, we were trying to do our best to, prolong the gameplay, but it was too difficult. And I'll be quite honest, all three of those players were better players than I was. So you're thinking to yourself, well, at the start of this video, you said you've been masters before. I have. And I can usually hold my own, but I also recognize when there's a player that's just much better than me. This Pred was definitely much better than me. There's no question. You put us in 10 different scenarios and he's probably winning, or she, 10 out of 10 times. And typically it's going to be that I just have a better team and that's why we'd wipe them, or vice versa, right? So if I'm playing with Rush and Jaeger, whatever the case might be, we might have a shot because I'm usually the bottom stack in that team. Okay. But in my opinion, I'm thinking like, wow, that is crazy that we're going up against teams like that. Okay. Let's reverse that a little bit and think, well, if you've been Masters, obviously Rush has been Masters, then, you should be playing against Masters. Well, keep in mind, if you remember, I just transitioned over to PC about a month ago. So my account has never been to Masters on PC. Right? That was my PS4 account. It's not tied to my PC account at all. So my PC account, the highest that I've ever been, I think was Plat 3 last season, right? Because I just started last season in Split 2. And then you got to think that my friend came in, was brand new account that day. And then Rush, I think he had made it to Masters once on PC and then quit playing Apex altogether and made most of his Masters on console as well because he had just transitioned too. So if you're thinking from an ELO or an MMO standpoint, you're thinking like, okay, maybe this would be fair. No, it really wouldn't because we don't have a lot of time in the PC lobbies and that's what we're seeing. So fast forward a little bit, next drop, boom. Another squad, master squad. We had 2 masters and a diamond in that squad. Got wiped. Okay, not a big deal, right? Thought maybe that's just was what it was. And then we played probably 4 other games. Every time I got killed by a Masters player. Again, not complaining. I've made it to Masters. That's okay. But for a brand new player in the game that hasn't even hit level 5 yet, right, through like 5 games, it's crazy to me that they continue to die to Masters. So I'm thinking, maybe it's just the day that we're in. So we wait a week, and then I start playing with my guy Jaeger. Again, Jaeger, I think he's probably in his battle passes, he's probably ranked 150. Again, he's never been to Masters. Yes, he's a master level player, no question, but he really doesn't care about ranked. So he only plays when I play, and then typically he'll jump on, play some pubs. And yes, if you've ever watched him play, he's a much better gamer than I am. He is definitely a master/predator type player and knows the game very well. He can rotate. He's a very good in-game leader. He's got great aim, and any game that he plays, he's really good at. Again, he's never been to Masters on PC, right? He has been on console with me, but never on PC. So you have a bunch of players here that are lower than Plat, and we go in, same friend, and every single fight we take are Masters players. It's crazy to me. This is what we've come to where, pubs have gotten to the point where we're seeing 3-stack Masters players with sometimes Predators, right? And every now and again, we'll see a team that a Predator is dropping in solo with, a couple of randoms, and you can tell they're random because they're split. And yeah, we'll get the wipe sometimes we won't. But this was the experience for our new player that I think she's sitting at 12 or 13 level total in the game. And we just really felt bad. And, I think Jaeger ended up branding the day as Super Sweat Saturday. And that's crazy to me. So, okay, another gripe that I have for sure is, we're talking a lot about bringing back what happened in Season 13. I'm going to tell you, Season 13 was great for the pros. Season 13 was great for Twitch. It was great for competition. If you remember, you had Hal versus Watson, and it was really fun to watch. I was watching Twitch a ton, was watching Hal a ton, was watching Watson a ton, and it was really fun. From a casual gamer's perspective, this was kind of the demise for me. This was the season that really slowed me down in my playing, right? They changed rank up a lot. If you heard my last video, I did state like, hey, I get it. Maybe I never was a diamond player. Maybe I should have been a platinum player or whatever the case might be. But this really kind of turned me off at Apex. And when I started talking to my friends, this is where they started getting turned off as well. This was kind of like a double whammy. You changed rank to basically become Super Sweat. And, I understand the design, wanted it to be more competitive at the Predator level and even the Masters level, but you really didn't give me a reason to grind up to Diamond or Masters without having that tiered emotion. And a lot of people think that's an unpopular opinion. Well, here's what it did, right? When you put that tiered emotion in, when people hit Diamond and they knew they weren't going to make Masters, they quit playing ranked altogether. When people hit Masters and knew that they weren't going to ever hit Pred, they quit playing the game altogether. Think about that for a moment, right? So now you have these 750 Preds that are playing and only really trying to play against each other, but they get bored as well. So what happens to those Preds that have nobody to play with? They have to play Masters players. And then when there's not enough Masters players, they have to play Diamond players, right? Or where do they go? They go to pubs. Think about this for a minute. All these Diamond and Master players that were normally in ranked would go to pubs. So when I'd get tired of ranked and just wanted to go drop and not sweat, right? Drop hot over and over again, they ended up in pubs, and they're triple stacking pubs. And look, I know it's of opinion that a lot of people are like, hey, that's cringe when you're triple stacking. I don't think it is. I think it's a game. Play it, and I get it. But for me, instead of complaining about it, I just quit playing the game. That's what I do. And a lot of casuals are going to do that. They're just not going to play the game as much because when they jump in, if they're naturally a silver player or a gold player and they get into a lobby and that lobby's consistently filled with Diamonds, Masters, and Preds, guess what they're going to do? They're not going to play the game anymore. Take the tiered emotions out. You hit Diamond, you can never go down for the rest of the season. Period. You hit Masters, you can never go down for the rest of the season. Okay? I don't care what other fixes you do in ranked when it comes to KP, when it comes to RP. Don't take the tiered emotions away because then people tend to get to where they need to get to and spend the rest of their times in pubs. Or what you don't want is for them to go to other games. And that's what we're seeing right now. And this started happening in season 13. It happened to me. I've played a heck of a lot less Apex since season 13. It's no question. I even tried to change and come over to PC and grind this game out like I used to, and I just can't do it because no matter where I go, it's just not a lot of fun. I have more balanced lobbies in ranked than I do in pubs, and that should be the case. Yeah, I agree. But for me, I want to have where it is fair and consistent across the board. I'm not looking to go into pubs and play against a bunch of bronze and silver players and pub stomp. I don't think that that's fun, right? Yeah, do I want to get some badges? Absolutely. But to me, that's running through lobbies. Yeah, maybe having one game, and maybe that's where they come up with 1 in 10 games. You get a lobby that's a little bit easier so you can go for your badges. But you have to play those 9 other games in more even lobbies, not super sweat lobbies, but even skilled lobbies where, you're going to have to try really hard and it's going to be hard gaming, plain and simple. Okay. The last thing that I think is really hurting Apex, I don't think Apex has control over. There's a lot of games out right now that are a lot of fun that just came out. Overwatch 2. I never played Overwatch 1 at all. I went to Overwatch 2 playing with some friends. I'm having a lot of fun in that game. Another game that I just started playing this weekend is Warzone, and I've never been a Call of Duty fan in the past. And this is the first time since I started playing with proximity chat and DMZ that I'm having a lot of fun, and it makes me not want to go play Apex. And it sucks because I really like Apex. Like I said at the start of this video, it's a game that I love, and it's a game that I'll continue to want to play. But for right now, these other 2 games are really taking the time away from playing Apex because I feel like it almost became a job to go in and grind through rank and even play pubs. And that's really all I have from an Apex standpoint. I don't know if I'm going to continue to play this game. I'm going to try, but you're going to see me not play it as much. And I still have a love for the game, but there's still a lot of work that needs to be done. I still think it's a great game. I just think that we're going to wait a couple of seasons before we really get back and dive back into it. So with that, I'm going to leave you with this, Legends. If you see me in the arena, whether it's in Overwatch, whether it's in Warzone, Fortnite, or Apex, make sure you turn that microphone on, say hello, and let's work towards that dub. Again, I'm your host, Soul Betty. Have a wonderful week.